Hello again. This is Eric Arnold back in Big E's Sports Barn. And that's me. I'm the Big E. And we're back in the Sports Barn after a week's hiatus, a week's vacation. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging through that long week of no action. Excuse me. We'll try to make it up to you. Long week for me. I'm out of sorts a little bit right now as I'm trying to re-enter my life. I only had minutes, not hours, bare minutes to look at the baseball this past week. So just a handful of games we picked last week, but oddly enough, they were all winners. We're riding a 7-game winning streak right now. Let's put up the Big E-o-meter. We're roughly a third of the way through the season, so let's take stock of where we're at. Well, we just barely have crawled back to the 500 level. Hooray! For us, that I think is an achievement in itself, because we were way in the hole there. Some just bad beats, bad decisions early in the season, and I'm sorry to see the month of May go, because we were really kicking some ass in May. Our top plays are doing really well. We like that. We just wish we could find a few more of them. But hitting a rate of return upwards of 12-14%. That's the equivalent in a 11-10 sport like basketball or football. That's basically the equivalent of 60%. So that is pretty darn good. We want to keep that going. I think we can keep that going. But we're happy where we're at. This is the first year we've been able to run our little spreadsheet model with all our historical trends and what have you. This is the first year we've gotten to really run it on a real year. We got to test it a little bit last year, and I don't think that counts, just because last year wasn't even a season. It wasn't even baseball. There's some things about this year that aren't baseball. Hey, we start extra innings of the guy on second base. That's not baseball. There's some things that still aren't back to normal, but this is pretty close. So we're happy where we're at. Just some non-baseball thoughts here for a moment. I think we're getting close to this whole nightmare being over. Saturday, I had a long day Saturday. I played golf. I don't play golf hardly at all anymore. It's just something that's aged out of my routine. I'm not very good. But we played golf. Actually didn't play that badly. But I'm exhausted. It's, 10 o'clock at night, maybe later. I flipped the TV on at my buddy's house. I'm just kind of staring at the TV. There's a hockey game on. And it took me about 10 minutes to register that this game's being played in Boston, what I would call Massachusetts. And they have a whole arena shoulder-to-shoulder sellout. And I'm like, is this a replay? Wait, this must be an old game they're showing. I don't think so. I think it was live. I think that somehow in a place as full of Democrats as anywhere in the world, Massachusetts, I think they've lifted the attendance limits there. At least the hockey team appears to. I don't know if the Red Sox have, but good God, if they've done that there, then this has got to be darn near over, right? I mean, is this darn near over? I mean, can you people clinging to that mask give it up yet? Come on, give it up. The numbers fall every day. They fall every day. Nowhere in my trip did anyone bust my stones as to where's your mask. Nobody did. I went into a couple businesses that still had their big old signs up saying, you must wear a mask. I just walked in there like I owned the place. Nobody said anything. So I'm hoping that finally this is over. Finally. All right, back to baseball. I said at the beginning of each week we'd kind of take a look at the standings, maybe give you a little what do we think, who we bet, and who we like. Looks like I guess what we're trying to find here now, seems like the cream is coming to the top, if you will. You got a team like the Braves that I've been pushing all year, and they're just stumbling around. Are they going to start playing better, or are they going to just steal our money all year long? And I don't know the answer to that at the moment. The Twins, I think the Twins are a bad team. I do not think that team is going to suddenly go on some huge run and get back in the race. Are the Royals going to hang in there? Are they going to fade away? Some other middle of the Packers. One thing I saw, and I'll mention this again in a minute. I went to Fangraphs, and I don't know where they come up with their numbers, but they put a percentage. Well, who has the best chance of doing whatever? Winning the World Series, making the playoffs. The team with the best chance to win the World Series, not surprisingly, it's the Dodgers. Number two, the New York Mets. The Mets, not the Yankees. The Mets. I just found that funny. The Mets. I don't know. I want to scoff, but Mets are in first place and not by one game either. So, or is it by one game? Maybe it is. I looked at the standings very briefly this morning. Anyway, I just found that odd. So, anyway, let's see what we got here. We don't have a whole lot here for Tuesday. As I said, I'm just re-entering my world here, and I didn't want to jeopardize our 7-game win streak with a bunch of losses that were hurriedly thrown together. So, opener, Phillies, Reds, two bad teams. Yes, Flamingo Kid, the Reds are a bad team. Don't feel bad. The Phillies are just as bad. We're taking the Reds here. Noah doesn't have a great record against the Reds. He hasn't pitched well all year long. The Phillies had him penciled in as their ace. He's been anything but. I think Noah's been charging ace prices, and you've been getting bad efforts out of the guy. Sonny Gray, he's another kind of pseudo ace. This is a matchup of bad teams, but I think the Reds just might have a little more there for they're at home. They play better at home. The Phillies for the last 5-6 years have been a terrible road team. What? I'm right here. The internet says that cats do not suffer separation anxiety. I beg to differ. Porky, who you've met in previous videos, now that we're home, he just stands in the middle of, right now he's standing in the middle of the yard howling. Just for no reason, just to let me know he's there. Daddy, you didn't leave me again, did you, Daddy? Daddy! So, at any rate, Phillies, terrible road team. Reds, pretty good home team. Sonny Gray's decent pitcher. I just think we're getting value here at the Reds. The Phillies are totally punchless without Bryce Harper. Nobody is hitting the ball well for the Phillies. They don't catch the ball well. Their bullpen isn't very good. And we're only laying 107 here with Sonny Gray. I think this is an okay spot to take the Reds. We only got 1 star on it. I'm not married to it. Let's put it that way. Our top game, that'd be the Mets. You okay? You said they're the second best team, the best chance to go to win the World Series. Let's get that right. Win the World Series. Okay, I'll go along with you. I mean, there's some things to recommend the Mets here. Lindor is healthy. He's just not playing well. I think at some point that guy is going to put up a month or two of good baseball, and he might just carry that team for a while. It hasn't happened yet. The Mets generally play pretty well out there in Arizona. Arizona's won one game out of the last 16 games. That's something I kind of like to do is, for whatever reason, I try to break baseball seasons into football seasons where I go back 16 games and say, okay, if this was an NFL team, would I bet on them? The Diamondbacks are 1-15. 1-15. Would you bet on a 1-15 team? So I don't know how we play the Diamondbacks here. I kind of, the guy Caleb Smith, he's a bullpen guy. He's getting his big chance now to be a starter. But even if he pitches well, he's going to be short because he just hasn't stretched out. He hasn't pitched any more than 40 pitches. So he's going to be short. It's going to be a bullpen game for the Diamondbacks. I don't think their bullpen's all that great. Stroman's pretty good. I mean, he's not my favorite guy, but he's not a bad pitcher. He throws lots of ground balls. This is a good chance, I think, that he keeps the Diamondbacks in the park, and the Mets right now are playing pretty well. So this is kind of a momentum game, I think, that the Mets just keep it rolling. They managed to win. Somehow they won a DeGrom start. That's like the most mystifying thing in the history of the universe, I think, that you got a guy out there that has a 1 ERA, and you can't win 4 out of 5 of his starts. You win like half of them. That boggles my mind. If the Mets could ever solve that, maybe they would end up in the World Series. At any rate, we're going to put 2 stars on this and take the Mets, minus a pretty short price, I think, against a 1-15 Diamondback team. Holy cow. All right. In this game, the model just, to be truthful, the model spit this game out yesterday, and I just threw it away and said, you know what, I'm not going to go through all the trouble and make a video and then do all this, and the game I'm picking I think sucks, and I'll probably lose anyway, and that's exactly what happened. The model, like the Angels, they lost 6-1 to the Giants. So we're going to come back, and we're going to include it today. What's the difference between today and yesterday? Well, the model would say this is a top play. I disagree. The Angels, perennially overrated. The Giants, perennially underrated. The Giants are so much better than the Angels, it's not even funny. But the reason why we'll say this is a 1-star game is Longoria is going to be out. He's perhaps right now the Giants' best player. So I think that might just spin them off their axis enough to give the Angels a shot here. The Giants, this is kind of what we were looking for on the Giants, to start playing against them. One of these guys, one of these ancient mariners of theirs, if you will, going to start taking some injuries. When is Posey going to start getting dinged up? Crawford, Belt, Longoria. These are the guys carrying the team. And when they start taking days off, now maybe we need to look to try to see this bunch come back to earth. Glossman, something's wrong with him. He's not pitching tonight, but that just might make them feel a little sad about themselves. So we'll take a shot here with the Angels. You're getting a pretty good price. I would like it to be higher, but 140, 1 star. There you have it. Hey, check out Pittsburgh Louie in the comments. He continues to just absolutely kick ass if, you're not satisfied with my picks. Louie, I don't know what methodology he's using. It's probably just kind of experience field deal, I'm thinking, but he is wiping out the competition in the comments. You know, I've been kind of paying attention to what he's been doing all year long, and you know, it's not bullshit. It's all true. That dude is way above 500, way above 500. So good. All right. Well, we're going to get back into our routine here. So feel comfortable that you can come back here day after day and see some baseball talk and get some baseball picks. Free, always free. I can't even conceive of charging. I don't know how I'd even hook that up. And I don't know why I would hook that up, because at the moment they're not that good anyway. So, you know, we're hoping to get better. But hey, all right, we appreciate all yous, especially our subscribers. They're our favorite people, and we will see you. What is today? Tuesday. See, I'm still just Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Thanks, and signing off.